What's happening? Welcome to that Synth Show Live, man. Best beginner synthesizers. I've got tons of emails asking me, Samurai, what should be my first synthesizer? You know, I've been checking out, the Synth Renegade streams, and you guys got such cool setups, man. What's the first synth I should buy? And I was like, you know what? It's about that time to do the five best first synthesizers that you can buy if you're just getting into this thing. And lo and behold, I wake up this morning, got a few emails again saying, hey man, what synth should I buy first synth? And I said, okay, you know what? Let me go check around. And I pulled up this beautiful article from gearnews.com, and they're going over what they think the best 5 synthesizers you can buy. So I figured we'd jump on here together live and we can look through these 5. Number 5 will surprise you, I think. And I've actually owned a couple of these on the list, so I can speak personally about the ones that they're talking about. I actually own 3 of them on the list, surprisingly. And there's so many good ones out there now, man. There's so many good ones out there. And these days, there's so many good prices. When you got companies like Behringer allowing you to get your hands on a synthesizer for under $200, it's an analog monster. You got companies like ASM, a Synth Sound machine from China, with arguably the greatest bang for your buck synthesizer of all time. You've got other great companies. You got Arturia doing great things. Roland's been around. Not super excited about Roland these days. You got a bunch of great companies. So we're gonna go over that together. It's a beautiful day out here on Synth Samurai Ranch. I got the Echo Vafangul shirt, baby, with the Synth Renegade Mafia logo, echocraft.com, go check it out, American flag, big old flat earth map on the back, man, and we're just going to have a good time here together and check everything out. And like I said, I think after today, if this is your first time here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you don't want to, no big deal, don't care. And we're going to go over it, and hopefully after today, you might pick one of these up as like a 4th or 5th synthesizer, but you might pick one up as your first if this is your first time here. And then I got a video now that I can send out to the hundreds of emails I'm getting every morning, every day when I wake up asking me what synth you should buy. This should give you a pretty good idea. So who do we got in the live chat? We got John Gabriel Costello, what's happening? We got Rourke, what's happening? We got Synth Mode in the house. We got World Needs a Hero, coffee time. That's right, man. This is an oscillators and percolators show this morning. I figured I'd match my cup with the new Echo Craft shirt. If you want one of these beautiful shirts, man, high quality, 100% cotton, no polyester, no chemicals, doesn't shrink, gets softer every time you wear it and wash it. It's gorgeous. So let's jump on back over here to the main stage, and we'll go through this article. And I actually got a video that I've done personally on one of these synthesizers, and we'll play that and chill for a little bit, and we'll go through it all. But if you guys got an idea, throw it down in the chat. What's the best first synthesizer for a beginner? There's so many good ones, man. But anyways, let's go through the article in no particular order. 5 best synthesizers from Adam Douglas over at Gear News. Let me jump on over to the big screen here so we can get a proper look here. All right, I'm not going to read the article, but we'll just go through them. They got some videos we'll play as well. So these are in no particular order. Hold on now. I got something popping in. Let me check something out. The missus just yelled out to me. Hold on. Maybe there's something not coming in properly. Can you guys let me know if the audio's coming in, the music's coming in, everything's coming in good? I think it's all coming in fine. Looks like it's coming in fine. Music's coming in hot. Sound is coming in hot. Yeah, let me know in the chat if everything's going down good, and we'll just get started. Hold on now. Let me check. Yeah, no messages, so we're good to go. All right, let's jump on over here. So in no particular order, the first one up on the list they got for a beginner synthesizer is the Arturia Minibrute 2. Now this is an interesting first synthesizer. It's from a company that gives you very affordable products, Arturia. They got I would put the Minifreak ahead of the Minibrute, because I feel with the Minifreak, not only are you getting a synthesizer that's jam-packed with functions, is portable, It's small, it's got an elegant and beautiful layout. You're actually getting a whole effects suite with it, and you're getting tons of firmware updates constantly. So I would replace the Arturia Minibrute 2 with the Arturia Minifreak. And they just came out with the new UFO version, which is the Microfreak. That was actually my first synthesizer I ever got, was the Arturia Microfreak. All analog, monophonic, one oscillator, a tiny little patch bay, but this one here is a little bit crazier. So as far as mono synths go, if you're looking for a mono synth for your first synthesizer, you've got the Arturia Minibrute 2, and they're telling you they got 2 reasons to get it. It's more affordable than a polyphonic synthesizer. It can play chords, plus they can show you excellent ways to learn subtractive synthesis. So I'll agree with them on that much. I'll agree with, yeah, peak. Yeah, I did that one for you, Alex. See, this is peak clickbait, dude. I put the colors in, I put the title in. I'm trying to just like show an example of how to create a billboard to get people to come check out the show. So I hope that made you guys laugh a little bit, because we've been talking about thumbnails and titles recently, and I think that's funny. So you've got this here. This comes with 2 VCOs, a character filter. Obviously, they got the Steiner Parker filter, 2 envelopes, and 2 LFOs, and ways to distort your sound. The Minibrute 2 is an excellent way to learn and make sounds with a synthesizer. And it's also got a very cool little modular patch bay here that if you want to learn the intricacies of getting under the hood. Yeah, Alex E made you click, baby. That's right. That's all we're trying to do, is make you click. Rourke in the chats just posted. He's got some great examples. The Poly D, Crave, Spice, TE05, Take 5, Minifreak, Pro 800. They're all great ones. And throw down in the chat which one you think are the best. Okay, so this is not in any particular order, but this was the first one. And if we roll down, we got a little sound clip. You can pick this up here. This is in euros. We work in American dollars where I'm from, because it's the king. American dollar is king. It's the gold standard for currency and cash next to Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's #1, but American dollar will be pegged to Bitcoin pretty soon, I'm sure. So stay tuned for that. All right, you got the UFO version down here of the Microbrute UFO 349. That's coming in at about 350 bucks American. It's a cheap synthesizer. You pick it up. Okay, let's check out a little demo right here of the Arturia Minibrute, so you can get an idea of the sound. Like I said, it's your first time here, you're thinking about what you want to get. This is where we are. You get the idea. Simple arpeggiation, analog synthesizer. Let's keep rolling for a little bit. We're not going to spend too much time on this one because I don't personally think that this is the best beginner synthesizer, but it's from a company that has some great beginner synthesizers, right? And personally, I think the Minifreak is arguably top 3 for sure. Very simple synthesizer, simply laid out, simple way to learn subtractive synthesizer. So the Minibrute 2 is up there, and if you want to hear about that, one of the synth renegades out there now, one of the greatest synth renegades, if you ask me, I got to get him on the show. Tactical MIDI. Tactical MIDI's doing amazing things. He live streams every Tuesday night. All right, he's epic, and I love him, and I think he's hilarious, and he's got tons of knowledge, and he just picked up, I believe he picked up the Minibrute 1 or the Minibrute 2. He's got the Minibrute something. So if you want some real details on that, get that. Like I said, I had the Microbrute, not this UFO version right here. I had the original, and that was a very cool synthesizer to learn on, but I got bored of it real quick, and I was like, I need more. I started adding guitar pedals to it so I could get some effects. That was cool, and then I was like, I just need more. And that's where, if I would have had the Minifreak, I think it would have been a much more enjoyable first synthesizer experience from Arturia. So Minifreak is right there. So let's keep rolling. Next up, we got the second synthesizer that I ever bought. So this is interesting. I had the Arturia Minibrute, and then I went and said, you know, I need more. So I went and picked up the Korg Minilogue XD. Now, I got the version without the keys because I had an old Casio thing that my Mrs. Aunt gave me. So I just used that as a MIDI controller to control the Minilogue XD because the desktop was cheaper. Now, the Korg XD is a friggin' monster first synthesizer. 4-voice, it's gorgeous, it's a hybrid, all right? Which means, if you don't know, digital oscillator, analog filters. It's got an amazing effects suite in it. You can pick one up for like 350 bucks used. I think they're like 400 or 500. We'll see down the bottom room when it gives us Euro price. But it's a hybrid 4-voice. It's got modern sounds. It's got Sound Vibes third-party effects suites in it for the oscillators and the effects, so you can get third-party new oscillators put in there. It's a multi-engine oscillator. It's got noise, FM, wavetable. It's also open source, like I was just saying. So there you can grab the third-party oscillators and everything, which is friggin' awesome. And the cool thing about it, it's constantly, because it has a third party, you can constantly be updating this cat, adding new stuff to it all the time. So it's almost like you're getting a new synthesizer every so often. So for as far as a first synthesizer, and you know I'm a Korgi if you've been following the channel. If you haven't, ring the bell, like, share, and subscribe. If you've been following the channel, I'm a Behringer bro. Hardcore Behringer bro. I'm a Korgi, alright? So I got like 6 or 7 Korgs. I got a crap ton of Behringers. I've got HydraSynths, I got Junos, I got it all, baby. But these days, PWM is where I'm like loving. Behringer and PWM. I just picked up the PWM Malevolent. I already made 3 absolutely intergalactic tracks with it. And if you haven't seen them, go check out my latest videos. I made 3 live jams on there using the Malevolent, showing everybody, because everybody said the PWM Malevolent can't fit in a mix. I'm like, bro, are you freaking crazy? What do you mean it can't fit in a mix? That means you can't fit in the mix, okay? Everything can fit in a mix. You just got to finesse it. But the beautiful thing about the Malevolent, I didn't have to finesse it. The filter was so crazy, it just cut through the mix, and it integrated so perfectly when I was using the Korg opsix sequencer to sequence the Malevolent with all those beautiful tones, man, and that raw, hardcore, dark filter that actually brightened my day. Okay, back to the show. It's a little PWM promo because I love the company. I feel like more people need to learn about it and understand how awesome PWM is as a synthesizer company. So let's go back. All right, so then we had the Korg Minilogue XD, like I said. The sound shaping possibilities are insane. It's got a 2-pole filter. It's got drive circuit for the grit. It's got 2 envelopes, LFO, lovely digital effects, as all the Korg synthesizers do. All the Korg synthesizers usually these days come with a beautiful effects suite, so you don't even need to go using any effects from your DAW or pedals. And I'm a huge pedal junkie. I'm missing a Moog. I think I got to get the Moog Messenger. A lot of fellas are telling me to pick up the Moog Messenger, but Moog is my mortal enemy. I'm a Behringer bro, and so it's in music versus music tribe, Behringer versus Moog, and my allegiance lie with Uli and Behringer at the moment. So, all right, we keep rolling. Like I said, you got digital effects, you got delay, reverb, chorus. You got all the effects you need on this beautiful little synthesizer. It's got a polyphonic step sequencer with motion recording. If you don't know what that means, it means you can record a sequence into this beautiful little synth. And it's got motion sequencing, which allows you to adjust the filter in real time and record that into your sequence. Remove steps, add modulation as you're listening to the sequence so you can refine it in real time. That's what motion sequencing is. And a lot of the new Korg synthesizers got motion sequencing 2.0, which gives you 4-lane sequencing with pitch, gate, a bunch of other stuff, right? But I'm not a huge fan of motion sequencing 2.0. It complicates things a little too much for my liking. All right? What's up, Banana Rodder, Aaron Perry's, Thomas Yan, what's happening, man? Trusto, great popcorn night last night. If you guys haven't checked out Symptoms of Reality, go check it out. It's one of the greatest live streams on YouTube right now. They're legends, and they do every Friday night. They play people's tracks, send them in, and they just play them for people, and it's amazing. And like I said, they had a great show last night, so check them out. Thomas Yan had a track in there last night. I think Rourke had a track in, Recon. There's so many good channels these days, small channels out there, renegade channels of people just out there doing their thing. And it's great when you've got a platform like Symptoms of Reality who are out there. They don't have to promote anybody. They're doing their own thing. And if you want to talk about a channel that puts others ahead of themselves, it's Symptoms of Reality. They promote others before they promote themselves, and you know, you plant now and you reap later, and they're planting a lot of seeds now and they're putting in a lot of work, and I got no doubt that their star is going to rise and they will shine brighter and brighter as time goes on. Is awesome. So anyways, Minilogue XD, it was one of my first synthesizers. Still got it upstairs. Don't got it plugged in at the moment because it's taking a back seat to some of the other ones while I'm learning them. And I think that this one here is definitely top 3, I would say, for a first synthesizer. Especially you can get the one with the keys, or you can get a desktop module. And look at this, 569 pounds, so you're looking at about 550, you know, Americana. And let's get a little demo of what this one sounds like. I mean, right away I would pick this over the Minibrute. Quick question from Banana Rodder. Thanks for $2, bro. I'm going to split an Italian sub with the missus later today. You know the goal of the show. The goal of the show is to get $14 to buy an Italian sub with extra mayo, oil, and vinegar, and two cans of ketchup to dip the butt ends of that thing in. And that's how you eat an Italian sub where I'm from. So thank you, Banana Rodder. Banana Rodder's question is, what Behringer synth would you battle a Moog with? To be honest with you, I think the Poly D blows away the Mini Moog Model D. The fact that you can right now go to sweetwater.com and for $499 you can have a replica of a Model D from Moog, but you've got a sequencer, you've got chorus and distortion built in, and it's 4-voice paraphonic. I think right now, if I was to go head to head, I would go Model D versus a Poly D. And just the fact that you got to pay $5,000 for a Model D and it comes with less features than a Behringer Poly D, Behringer blows that away all day. Now the Moog Messenger is a tough one. I don't know what can compete with the Moog Messenger right now. It's very hard call because the Moog Messenger is blowing a lot of people's minds, but that's basically an in-music synthesizer. It's not a Moog synthesizer. Okay, it's an in-Moogish synthesizer. Everything else, I think Behringer beats Moog everywhere. Every Behringer synthesizer beats every Moog synthesizer, in my personal opinion, except the Messenger, because the Messenger is really special. So even though Moog is my mortal enemy, okay, I have to give credit where credit is due, and the Messenger is an absolute monster. And like I said, don't go buy, if you own a Moog Model D, buy a Poly D if you're gigging to take on the road. I know one of the greatest renegades out there of all time, Space Capsule. He has a Model D, and he says the sound is, you know, intergalactically extraordinary, but it's a $5,000 mono synth. So he bought a Poly D that he takes on the road to play, and guess what? He says, man, it does the job like no other. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, let's roll a little more of this. I've heard a couple comparisons, Banana Rodder, with the Mini Moog Model D and the Poly D, and I think Starsky Carr's got a great one. You can go watch all the frequencies. He puts his oscilloscope up there, whatever he's got, the frequency tracker thing. And to be honest, for the bros, nobody's going to know the difference. If you got a Poly D in a track or a Model D, nobody's going to know the difference. And again, if you got a Model D, you're not taking that on the road with you. You're not going to take a $5,000 synth on the road with you and have some wanker spill a beer on it while you're jamming, or, you know, you get it nicked, or one of the roadies bump it up, or you're just not going to do it. It doesn't make any sense. But if you're flush with cash, I'd go out and buy the Geddy Lee red one, okay, because that one is gorgeous. So first synthesizer, you're not like, I mean, it's hard to say, you know, I would, like Banana Rider said, I wouldn't get I think it was Banana Rider, I wouldn't get a monophonic as my first synthesizer. I did, and I quickly wanted a polyphonic one. So I would, you know, Minifreak, Korg Minilogue XD, the next one on the list, which we're going to show, the HydraSynth Explorer. These ones here the longevity of your first synthesizer experience will last longer than a monophonic synthesizer, in my opinion. But a monophonic synthesizer will be easier to learn on and get your head wrapped around subtractive synthesis. That's what I think. I mean, as you can see right off the bat, we did that little demo above of the Minibrute. So we're not going through this slow, right? If you got ADHD, go take a Ritalin and relax, all right? This show is not the fast food of synth shows. We're here to chill out, have a good time, interact in the chat, enjoy ourselves, and not rush through things and chop a video up so you get friggin' epilepsy watching it, all right? That's not what we're doing over here, okay? So like I said, if you got ADHD and you want this to go faster, you're going to have to go check out some other show like Midlife Synthesis, you know, where you get a 5-minute super chop and you walk away with a bad stomach and epilepsy after, all right? All right, so that's just a little taste of the Korg Minilogue XD. Again, it's way more powerful. You're gonna get more enjoyment out of it for a first synthesizer. It's polyphonic, it's 4-voice, but it's an absolute monster. I should plug that baby back in and do a demo a little bit later, but I'm telling you right now, you can't go wrong with a Korg. It's actually probably one of the great, it's beautiful because it gives you the analog filters with digital oscillators, and I'm a hybrid junkie, man. I love hybrids because I feel like they have so much more of a sound palette for yourselves, and the fact that, like I just told you, the Korg has third-party ability to add oscillators from outside creators and also effects and just tons of other stuff is absolutely awesome. Yeah, man. Shout out to Nick Bat. Nick Bat's a legend. Shout out to ProSynth Network. I really enjoy ProSynth Network. I think they're one of the coolest old school style shows that are adding a new school style flavor. Of course, Nick Bat, Sonic State are the OGs, and they always got great stuff going on. But these days, the Renegades, as far as synth content, you can't beat the Echo Crafts of the world, the Rourkes of the world, the Twin City Oxygens, the Symptoms of Reality, the Crazy Rabbits. You know, you can't beat these guys. The Cornishes, the Recons, these guys out here, the Viral Beats. There's an upswelling of, like, I don't know what you call it, grassroots of, like, really organic style channels and creators out there that, man, it's just so enjoyable. You know, man, cable, cut your cable, man. All I do is spend time checking out all these wonderful, super creative people out there, and the fact that in the chat you just have absolute legends that can answer any of your questions. That's what's up, okay? Hans Volt in the chat says the best beginner synths are mono. You need to understand what's going on with one voice first. That's a great point. That's a great point. So, like Hans, because I ended up getting the Arturia Minibrute, which is probably the simplest analog synthesizer out there. Got keys, got a little sequencer. You can got a little patch bay. I think that Minibrute, if you just want to learn, but you're going to have to buy another synth in a couple months, get the Minibrute to learn on. It'll give you a very epic foundation for your synthesizer journey. But if you don't want to get bored, this here is very well laid out, the Korg Minilogue XD sound demo, okay, right? And like I said, it's a hybrid, so you get a little bit of analog, you get a little bit of digital, and you get everything in between. And is warm. Is warm. It'll warm you up. All right, let's move on down here now. We've got the ASM HydraSynth, an absolute monster. I am the proud owner of a HydraSynth Deluxe. And I got to tell you, it's hard to beat. So let me check something real quick. X that out. X that out. Gotta close a couple windows. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of lag. There we go. So yeah, the HydraSynth. This is a fully digital synthesizer by a Sun Shao machine, however you say that. It's Chinese, so yeah, whatever. I don't speak Chinese. This is got, I mean, it's not analog, it's digital, but you can make this thing sound analog. It's got FM, it's got wavetable, sampling. This is the smaller version. It's like 500 something bucks. It's an absolute beast. It's probably one of the most affordable, jam-packed synthesizers you can get for your money, and the sound quality is absolutely extraordinary, but it's digital, and you got to work hard to get some analog sounds. But there's so many legendary people out there making sound packs that Synth King, for one, you can go buy Synth King sound pack, and he's got a sound pack that makes his sound like any analog vintage synthesizer you could ever possibly own. You can recreate on this thing, almost. Close enough. All right, close enough. It's a wavetable synth on steroids, is what they're saying here. I like that, you know. Not saying I like steroids, but I like my synths on steroids. 2 filters, baby. 3 oscillators. Absolutely insane. Fully polyphonic aftertouch. If you don't know what polyphonic aftertouch is, if you're a beginner, everyone in the chat knows. Polyphonic aftertouch is when you have modulation per each key. So I can push this one, and this one all at different pressure rates, and I get different modulations happening at different times and different velocities and different parameters and blah blah blah. And I think polyphonic aftertouch, if you're a live performer, what's up Trader to Living, what's happening No Lake, what's up everybody? Yeah, so this is a great little synthesizer for beginners. Like I said, it's all digital, so if you're one of those guys who's an analog cork sniffing snob, this might not be for you. But if you're just looking for a great synthesizer that's easy to learn with a super elegant interface, this is not bad for a beginner if you ask me. And I got the HydraSynth Deluxe, the big daddy, all right? The 16 voice, polyphonic aftertouch, bi-timbral, super powerhouse of a Mustang. And I got that upstairs, and it's amazing. I love it. Okay, so let's get a little sound check on this. Like I said, you picked this up for $5.50 American, I think. $5.99. Let's hear some sounds of this beauty. Now, we got a lot of blue-collar synth enthusiasts out there, man. A lot of pipe fitters, carpenters, plumbers. We got the real deal of synth renegades out there. So if you got those big-ass calloused-up sausage fingers, listen, be proud of them. But let me tell you something. Mini keys might not be your thing, all right? So that's where you'd probably want to go with the this one here. This one doesn't have mini keys, okay? But this one does. So if you got those big old sausage fingers from all those 18-hour days, laying pipe, at work, and when you get home, this might not be for you. But sound-wise, it is. And you can also pick up the 49-key version, which is amazing. Sorry, Korg XD has mini keys, so if you got sausage fingers, don't get that one either. All right, the Korg XD's got mini keys too. So if you got, I got the desktop. So yeah, someone just pointed in chat that listen, when you're looking at these beginner synthesizers, they got a lot of mini keys. So any sausage finger, Sicilian sausage finger synth players out there like Echo Craft, you don't want mini keys. So you can hear the power of this thing. It's powerful. It's huge. It's polyphonic aftertouch. It's crazy. So, I mean, a HydraSynth, that's up there too, man. That's what we're saying. These synthesizers, and it's cheap, man. 500 bones. Someone just said they picked one of these up for 300 bucks. You kidding me? That's insane. All right, that's absolutely insane. Oh yeah, don't forget the electricians out there, baby. Shout out to Trader of the Living. Like I said, man, there's a lot of people out there who never did manual labor in your life, but the synth renegades, we're not that. We're a little more rough around the edges, all right? We're the blue collar faction of the synthesizer community, okay? So when you hear people in the chat talk about mini keys and they don't like them, it's not because they're mini. They got nothing against midget keys. They just got those big calloused up fingers, okay? All right, let's roll. So that's that one. Now we got this one here. We're getting into a little bit of an expensive one, the Sequential Take 5. Now, if you got sausage fingers, this might be for you, but you're going to have to pay an extra $1,000 if you want this one. But sound-wise, just for the 5-voice polyphonic, fully analog synthesizer, it's got 2 VCOs, a low-pass filter, borrowed from the company's flagship Prophet 5, two 5-stage envelopes, 2 LFOs, plus a comprehensive effects section. Now, the sequential effects aren't known to be the best, but they're still there. It's got an arpeggiator, polyphonic step sequencer. So this is a monster. First synthesizer, $1,800 though, brand new. You know what I mean? That's not for the broke boys, okay? This ain't a broke boy synth. This is a overtime working man synth. This is a guy who puts in that extra hours, you know, to get the house lit, you know, to get the drywall up. Do you understand? So, and we got a desktop module coming in. So here's the price. Have a quick look. $14.99 right now in American. That's $1,800 in America. And then you've got $1,300 for a desktop module. So this isn't a good first synthesizer unless you're a trust fund baby, flush with cash, or you've worked so much overtime now that you don't even mind spending it. All right. You're one of those offshore boys like Scott McCulley, man, who's just loaded up, got more money he knows what to do with. Okay, that guy goes on a hitch offshore, comes home with 12 cents. Okay, you gotta love it, man. Shout out to Scott McCulley Sounds, one of the greatest sound designers known to man. And if you ever want a sound pack for a synthesizer you just bought because you're not that good at sound design, or you could give 2 craps about it, or you're a preset playboy like myself, check out Scott McCulley Sounds. He's probably got a sound pack for any synth that your heart desires. Also James Dyson, also Geosynths. All synth renegades, whether they want to be or not, they are. So you've been amalgamated into the synth renegade culture. Okay, so we go down. Let's check out some sound demos from the Sequential, just to get a little taste. Sounds pretty good, right? Sounds pretty good. Later, Trusto. Take it easy, bro. So, no one's going to tell you that the Take 5 doesn't sound good. We're just going to tell you that it's crazy expensive and overpriced, way overpriced for what you get. That synthesizer should be $999. Let's be honest. And it should definitely not be over $1,200. That's my personal opinion. So I don't think this goes in the beginner synth category unless unless your parents are doctors, lawyers, or they're working for NASA, lying all day to everybody. But unless there's something like that, then I wouldn't pick up the Take 5 as your first synthesizer. But it is a great synthesizer, and if you got cash, then you know what to do. All right, and last, number 5, just like the thumbnail said, number 5 might surprise you. Why is this considered arguably the greatest beginner synthesizer of all time? The only reason this can't be number 1 is because it doesn't have keys attached and you have to buy a MIDI controller to do this. I actually have the Model D. So I got the Model D, I got the HydraSynth, I got the Minilogue XD, and I've got the, what was the first one? And I had the Microbrute. Alright, so I pretty much own everything but the Take 5 on this list, actually. So I've tried all these, and I can tell you that all of them are amazing. And I gave you a couple more examples. For example, the Minifreak, which is amazing from Arturia. Now, the Behringer Model D, this was modeled after the famous Moog Model D. Now, you might ask yourself, for $199, how can this possibly sound like a Moog Model D? Well, it can. It can. And it almost, if I was to have a Model D and a Behringer Model D and a Moog Model D next to each other, and I blindfolded you, but I fed you a nice meal first, so you were very relaxed, and I played both of these synthesizers, you might say, the Model D, I like the sound of that better. And I'd say, okay, fair enough. But how do you think about the Behringer Model D? Like, man, it sounds amazing. I could barely tell the difference, but I can tell a little bit. And then I would say, okay, well, guess what? The Mini Moog from Moog is $5,000. This one's $200. So when it comes to beginner synthesizers, you pick up a Model D, you need an external keyboard. So that's the reason why it can't be number one for beginners, because I feel like a beginner synth, you don't want to have to go out and buy a MIDI keyboard, right? You probably don't have one. But if you want a beautiful synthesizer, pick up the Behringer Model D. And I think anybody who says they can tell the difference, they're either absolute cream of the crop expert, but you're going to whap this thing full of effects anyways. You're going to throw a load of reverb on it. You're probably going to add some delay. I add some chorus. My favorite recipe for the Behringer Model D is chorus, then into delay, then into reverb, and then you're on your way. That's my recipe, okay? So this got 3 oscillators packed into this beautiful little form factor. It's got a ladder filter. It's one of the best sounding filters of all time. It's got a Moog ladder filter in this beautiful thing. It's got an ADS envelope for amplitude filter, and it's got a sound that is very impressive, low cost, Euro rack. You can rack this thing if you're into Euro rack. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The oscillators, like Space Capsule saying, sound more crisp than the Mini Moog. Nobody's saying that's a bad thing. We're just saying it's a different thing. But it's a $4,800 different thing. All right, but you need a MIDI controller. So let's check some sounds with this. And I actually have a video I did a while back, like well over a year ago, which I'm going to play a little bit of to finish up the show, because I actually just want to hear it again. This is the demo from Bonita Synths, I believe. Lots of cool sounds. Alright, not bad, but my demo's better. I'm going to play that. So, let's just enjoy this for a minute.
Alright, welcome to that.
What's up, Tony Black, baby?
Synth Samurai.
Great show last night.
Who was like, man, I'm thinking about buying a Mini Moog. It's $5,000. And then I was like, why are you going to buy a Mini Moog for $5,000 when they're still selling the Model D for $250? So I figured I'd just throw it on, give you a little taste of what this little bad boy can do in 2024. So let's go with that synth show. Alright, welcome back. This is Nothing High Tech here today. We got the Model D right here, this beautiful little baby, this 3 oscillator little beast. We're not going to go into too much of the details. You know it. It's got an oscillator bank, it's got a mixer, LFOs, okay, ADS, no R, ADS for the filter, ADS for the VCOs. And we got a noise generator, and we got all the beauty, all the workings. I'm powering up by this opsix, but I know what you came for. You came for the sound, so let's go.
So I'm just going to play this video to end it out. It's kind of like a fractal, so I'm just watching this myself because I forgot I even did a demo on this way back in the day, like a year ago. And yeah, so we're just going to play this and relax and enjoy this little demo. It's 12 minutes long. And then you tell me. I think, personally, to be honest with you, I'm the best synthesizer demo guy on the internet. I don't know. That sounds crazy to say, but after going back and watching some of my demos, I'm like, I'm the best. I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Shout out to Bret Hart.
another oscillator, see what she sounds like. She roars. Add in another one. So that's just on some saw waves. Let's switch it up to pulse wave. Get some squelch.
So, someone's saying I got to pick up a Model D for your collection. I think everybody, honestly, everybody right now should go out and buy a Behringer Model D. They're cheap as chips. I think they're like 140 bucks on Sweetwater, or 199 or 250 or something. I think they're 199. But the fact that this thing is such a monster, and the Behringer modules are amazing. This here, why wouldn't you just add this to your setup? Look at this, man. It's just, you can have so much fun with it. It's a very simplistic layout. One of the reasons why the Moog Model D is such a sought after synth, but it's way overpriced, is because of the simplicity of it. Again, why I think that my demos are the best is because, I shouldn't say my demos, why I think that the Synth Renegade demos are the best, because we actually kind of show what the thing can do if you're just in the zone messing around with it, like what you would actually do if you brought it home and started playing around. A lot of the demos on the internet of the old guard, the old school, I call them the Synth Mafia, you know, powered by the Synth Illuminati sending them synths, is that they just kind of like chop it up, init patch, basic stuff, and you watch it and you're like, again, I call it the fast food of synth content and GearTube. It's just, it's not what it should be. But the new school, the Synth Renegades, it's the new school, man. It gives you an actual, you feel like you're sitting down with the Synth Renegades when they're doing a demo. You feel like you're sitting in the room with them and you're just kind of relaxing while they just explore it, and then you have a chat. It's the new wave, man, and you know, it might take a while for everybody to figure it out, but it's the way it is.
All right, so this thing can roar. You see it? Turn the LFO off. $250. Like I said today. You can get 16 of these babies for the price of the Mini Moog.
Shout out to Big Unc Samurai. It's my uncle who did this video. You know, pretty much all my family members look the same, but yeah, my uncle did this Model D video. Got a great beard. Shout out to Uncle Samurai.
Add in a little white noise.
Yeah, Unc Samurai drinking too much of that bourbon. He's got the jaundice. I mean, I don't know. How do you not love synthesizers? Just sound. I just friggin' love sound. It's absolutely sound. I don't know. Sometimes, man, making music's overrated. Just sitting down with a synthesizer and just exploring sound and making crazy sounds. That's what's so amazing, man. It's sometimes it's like everyone's always like, man, why don't you go make some music, man? It's like, dude, sometimes we just want to explore sounds. Sometimes we just want to bathe in Uli's bubble bath of sound, man. Let us wash over us and take away all the problems. Sometimes you don't want to sit in front of a DAW and structure out a song. You just want to be inside the sound. In the pocket, like they say, like Thomas Jan. Be the pocket. Yeah, we got the ambient birds in the background. We got the real life ambient zero up there in the trees. Alright, baby, head over to Uli's Synth Spa, man, and bathe yourself in that bubble bath of sound. I appreciate that, Trader to the Living, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Go check out Trader to the Living's channel too, man. Bro's got a great channel, hardworking man. Definitely one of the Moog, a very large Moog enthusiast. Loves the MPC too, and he's got some great music, very unique, and you know, his live streams are epic. I thought I heard Noir the other day say, man, he really enjoyed Trader to the Living's live streams that he did, man. Yeah, because I enjoyed too. I loved hearing Trader talk about synthesizers, the setup, what he's got going on. So go check out Trader to the Living's channel too, man. Awesome renegade, bro. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, actually, that's a good point, Space Capsule. The secret ingredient to the OG Mini Moog is it's got the secret sauce of gain. But Loonsberry Pedals has a pedal called the Organ Grinder. I'm going to run the Model D into the Organ Grinder, and I bet you that's going to sound absolutely friggin' insane. Now we're getting into some squelch, right? We're getting into some TB3, TD3 category, that squelchy, you know, that UK style rave sound.
All right. A little squelch and aftershock here. Alright, so that's the Model D. It's absolutely amazing. That's Synth Samurai's little quick demo of the Model D. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later on that synth show. Slow, slow.
Alright, so that's the demo, man. I think that's, to be honest, I think that gave you everything you needed when it comes to if you should get a Model D from Behringer. I think it's absolutely epic. It's a great first synthesizer if you've got a MIDI keyboard. But you guys let me know down in the chat. What do you think, man? What do you think is the the best first synthesizer? I don't know. I think Minifreak, HydraSynth Explorer, Minilogue XD, those are all great first synthesizers, if you ask me, as far as a first synthesizer goes. So, but I'm going to break that Model D out again now for a new 2025 demo, but I'm going to put it through the organ grinder and see if I can solve that secret sauce issue with gain by putting it through an organ grinder by Loonsberry Pedals. Alright? And then it might, like you said, it might unmask that super sizzle that we're all looking for. Alright, so that's the show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. That synth show with Synth Samurai. And that is the 5 greatest beginner synthesizers from gearnews.com. Then with some Samurai news sprinkled over the top of it and some Synth Renegade opinions in the chat. So if you stuck around and you took your Ritalin and your ADHD didn't make you click away, like, share, and subscribe, or not. And I'll talk to you later. Sloo. Oh, I'm be getting that Italian sub, baby. I'm going to be getting it real quick. Slow, slow. Hey Leroy, you've been talking to those guys about getting those products in? Yeah, I got 3 meetings later. I got 4 phone calls I got to do after I eat that Italian sub, and yeah, arrange that meeting with you know who. Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, you know what? If he wants the glaze, okay, he needs to get the haze away from his eyes and understand that the Synth Renegades and the Synth Samurai, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.